This is the Business Owners IT Podcast with Anthony Gerasch and Ryan Carter, where tomorrow's technology meets today's conversations.
Hi, I'm Tony Gerasch.
And I'm Ryan Carter, and this is the Business Owners IT Podcast.
A podcast where we discuss tips, tricks, and solutions for business owners involving all things tech.
Well, let's just dive right in. I'm going to bat it over to you, Tony. I think we got a fun one this week.
Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about fake phishing. So, we provide cybersecurity awareness training, and we deploy software for it, and then we fake phish people, right? So in March, the beginning of March here, a fake phish came out, and many people got sucked in. So yeah, I don't know. I know I've got about at least 5 or 6 emails about it, and I would just tell people to delete it. I don't know, Ryan, did you get any?
Oh, yeah. We got one that came across that someone forwarded on, and I thought it was actually kind of something for the client, so I sent it to the 2 people in charge of that client. I go, do you know anything about this? Well, they never got it because it got blocked in the Barracuda when I forwarded it. Yeah, so, this one here I do, as we talk about it, I want to give a quick shout out that it does come from Huntress Security Awareness Training. And this, guys, you did a good one over there, Huntress. Applause.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm going to do is we're going to change it up here a little bit, and I'm going to have John actually bring the email up on the screen. And what's going to happen is we're just going to talk a little bit about it, how to identify that this is a phishing email. And I had got them, and I wasn't aware that that my team was fake phishing them. And when I got them, I just said delete it. It's a phishing email. Don't even open it. Mm-hmm. So even I didn't dig into it, but right away I said don't do it. So John, let's bring up this email, and what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go through the email. Okay, so when you look at the email that's up on the screen, the first thing that you're going to notice is it says, unique computing solutions. It has recently experienced a security breach, right? So the first thing you have to look at is the email address. The email address is not from somebody at Unique Computing Solutions, right?
No, it's well crafted though. When it has a breach-noticed in it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
It's well crafted, right? It has a required breach notification. There's a call to action, right? The other thing, it's missing a signature, right? So it says Unique, it's missing a signature down there. There's nobody to contact, right? And there's no information. Then the other thing you got is you got a attached PDF, right? So you need to be suspicious, right? So there's we require all employees that have been exposed to the security incident to file a report immediately through the automated system. Failure to do so may be cause for disciplinary action. So, somebody from this place called info@breachnotification.com or breachnotice.com or whatever is up there is going to be able to fire you, is basically what it's saying, right? A lot of times this is a real email, a real domain name when we're being fake phished, but a lot of times that'll be that'll be like a Gmail account or Yahoo account or an AOL account.
Yep.
So it'll be a free email account. Okay. So, and then there's another call to action to see if you are required to follow the actions. Please follow the instructions in the attached PDF. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this PDF up because I know it's not, it's a fake phish. So Ryan, do you want to talk a little bit about it? Do you have it up on your screen?
The
too?
one I got says there's an update available for Adobe. Is that what you got?
Yes, that's what I have.
Oh.
So yeah. So I should also say we fake phish our own employees. So that's another thing that's happening. So we're fake phishing our employees too. Yeah. And then the next thing, it wants you to view the document. But the document's online. There's actual link there, right? So let's click on the link. Now I got a warning, right, that says, remember, so do you want to trust this place, right? So if you trust this site, to allow. If you don't trust the site, choose block. So I'm just going to allow this to go so we can see what it looks like, right? Well, the next thing is I want you to put in your email address and password. Now, isn't that suspicious, right? And then wants you to continue with whatever you put into there. So I'm just going to make something up. Actually, I'm not going to do a real one. And I'm going to log in. Now, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to give it my real password. I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and say submit. Let's see what happens. Oh, this site has been reported as unsafe, hosted by filesharing.com. Oh, but you know what? More information. Yeah. So actually, it looks like Microsoft Defender might have stopped it for me. So that's cool.
Mine was stopped right away. I couldn't get any further. I don't know if
Right.
it was the iPad or if it was Defender, which I have on here.
Yeah. So ours was actually blocked. Okay. This is the first time I actually went through it. But the point of it is you could clearly tell, right? You could clearly tell from the email that it was a phishing email. Now, the sad part about this is, right, it's a phishing email, and the sad part about it is we had a whole bunch of people actually go through with this. They actually got sucked in. So I'm looking at the list, and we're not going to share the list, okay, guys? So, we're not going to share what that is. So I'm looking at my list, right? I got some manufacturers that got sucked in, a couple accounting firms that got sucked in, a trucking company that got sucked in, an insurance group that got two insurance groups that got sucked in, a distributor, a couple of organizations, not for profits. So it's pretty comprehensive, right? And a couple of them were compromised. They went through and they put the whole thing in. They put in their information.
Yep.
But then some recovered. That means that they also completed the training after submitting the data. So it's one of those things, right? It's happening, and you have to be really careful. I mean, I'm really surprised that that this many people have done this.
Yeah. So, one thing too is, we'll just go back to the email itself. And so, John, I'll just have you highlight the from section there where it says the breach notification, info@breachnotice.com. This is Security Awareness Training 101. Well, a lot of people may know this, some may not. But right here, sometimes that from will say maybe who your IT director is in your company because you publish them on the website. So it might be from Ryan Carter, but then that little blue section afterwards with the email address will always be some random at gmail.com, someone that probably got hacked and they're in their Gmail account and they made a fake Gmail account and did it from there. It might even come from another legitimate company that you've never done business with before because that account was compromised and they're using that account as a relay to send these. But that from section is your number one placeholder to figure out if it's a hacked email. And then like Tony said, there was no signature, nothing like that. There's a call to action, but no way you can get back to that IT department unless you physically called them to do it. And unfortunately, quite a bit of our clients, as Tony had said, had clicked on this email. And there was some important people, too, that did it and gave their credentials to it. So, it's time to learn.
Yeah, a few of those were actually business owners, the top people. I hate to say it, though. The top people are usually the people that click on everything.
Mm-hmm. And they want the least restrictions.
Yeah, they want the least restriction. They click on everything. They click on the stuff that says, "Hey, we got a new job for you to bid on," or any of that stuff. They just get sucked in all the time.
Yep. Yeah, quite a bit. And some don't. Some are really good. They just forward the phishing. Like Tony said, he gets them sent to him. They're forwarding the phishing email to you. Like, is this phishing? So some are doing their due diligence and a good job with it. But yeah.
Yeah. And I got a bunch of them forwarded to me. I said, yeah, that's a phishing email. Delete it. And I didn't even know that it was my team that was actually phishing them.
Yeah, it was a good one.
And then, yesterday or the day before, I got a report internally from our guys and said, hey, a lot of people are getting sucked into this phishing email. And it's remarkable how many people are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to see that it's the campaign for March. So, and I don't know, I didn't get a chance to watch the actual training video, but did you watch all the training videos?
I have.
Did they talk about this one in the training video prior to this?
Straight phishing was like one of the first ones,
Okay.
where she attacked an ice cream company and got
right.
them. But they do have another one on smishing, which we're going to talk about in our next episode. So that'll be a little bit of fun to talk about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's all I have. I don't know. Do you have anything else?
No, I mean, that sums it up. I mean, again, this is the easiest, the low-hanging fruit for any attacker to try to get into your company. So just be mindful. Make sure your people are mindful. And again, some of our clients got caught, but guess what? They're not going to get caught again. you get a little egg on your face, you start paying more attention to what you click on. So, and one last time, Tony, I'm sorry, but I do want to give my hats off again to Huntress on what they're doing here with the security awareness training. Their trainings are good. People are engaged. Our engagement levels are up with our clients with them, and also their phishing simulations they're getting people to click. So we're learning, and they're learning, and now we're talking about it, which is a good thing.
Yeah, and I guess that's true. I mean, we've been doing fake phishing and training for 3 or 4 years, and hardly ever did anybody get sucked in on the old training. So, Huntress is new for us, and it's doing an awesome job because nobody would ever, I would get reports and nobody would ever click on them. Their phishing emails just were not strong enough to get people to engage.
Yep, exactly. So we expect that kickback, Huntress, little cash. We've got plenty of the T-shirts.
Yeah, just discounts would help.
Yeah, discounts will work too. All right, well, that's all I got, Tony.
Yep. So, hey, if anybody has any comments or anything like that, just leave them in the comments, or if you want to ask questions, we'll get back to you guys on that. And you can also visit our website.
Yep, sounds good, Tony. Thank you.
Yep. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Business Owners IT Podcast. We hope to see you next week.
Yep. See you next week where we talk about smishing.
Unique computing solutions. Your IT challenges solved.